Hey everyone, welcome back to Midwest DBS. Got one more little quick deck tech to go over with you guys. I know I already went over this deck once before on my channel, but it's been updated after weeks of playtesting, and we're getting ready for a team event. So this is one of the decks we're thinking about bringing to the team event, and it's also good in singles. This leader's pretty basic. It's Son Goku. It's the Revived Goku leader, and basically on the front side, when it swings at a leader, you draw a card. When you activate Revive, on the front side you get to draw a card, and then when your life is at 4 or less, you get to draw a card and restand an energy. On the flip side is the good side. Basically, when it attacks any card, just not leader card, you get to draw a card. And then when you activate Revive, you get to draw 2 cards. So this is kind of where you can net some advantage by discarding a multicolored card as your Revive. Auto once per turn, you get to choose any of your multicolored cards and basically turn them into Deadly Defender for that turn. And basically, it just helps protect this leader once you're awakened, not to get too far below within range of getting killed down, because we'll have to attack through that Deadly Defender first. So we're going to go through extra cards first. First off, we're going to go Xenobutton. We play 3. Xenobutton's good in any blue deck that runs a lot of 110k combos and multicolor cards with blue, because just basically it's counterattack, you stand all your blue energy and be really defensive. Just good card. More good blue cards. Sensu Bean. Sensu Bean allows you to push more plays if need be. And also, with today's meta being baby around everywhere and pretty aggro, if you see multiples of these against baby, you really want to see more than one to even make a dent. But it's still a good card. You get a plus 5k and restand 2 of your energy, which allows you to be defensive. And it's also activate battle. Counterplay cards. Well, these 2 counterplay extra cards is Preemptive Strike. At a 2F, Preemptive Strike's really good right now. What it does is, if your leader's green, which it is, and your opponent plays a card, if it has an energy cost of 4 or less, it goes directly to the drop instead of being played. So if it has enter effects, basically doesn't get those, because basically it goes straight to the drop instead of being unplayed. Deflect's annoying with this card, but it's a way to get around low cards that have barrier that your Vegeta the Cruel can't deal with. This will deal with them just fine. Negates. We got 4 Whis Coercion. We play it just because we're wanting to keep as much energy up as we can at all times to stay defensive. Because basically what this does is, when you use it, you get a restand in energy. So you negate the attack and still have energy up for more defensive plays. Other negate we play is Master Roshi Universe 7. The reason why we're playing this is because it's blue. We're trying to keep our blue and green card count at a certain level for Revive. We want to be about as equal as possible for the Revive mechanic. Sorry, I was shaking a little bit. But this is a counter attack, so basically it negates the attack too. And then also it's a 5k combo, so you can combo off to protect a leader, protect Deadly Defender. And the fact that the blue combo card is also relevant for our 1 arrival card. Next, we got the Android. This makes the deck tick, basically, as far as having the proper energy you need at all times. If you play a multicolored card in energy turn 1, any turns following, this will come into play untapped, so it's good energy fixing. And if you play it as a battle card, it's also good because it has a neat ability where your opponent combos. You could choose one of those cards that they comboed with and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck and negate its skill and then you negate this skill for the duration of the game. So basically it's a one shot, but it can come into play when they're trying to evolve a Khalifa or Kale or the Big 8 Bardock. You can tuck those underneath their deck instead of then coming into play. Next is this card, really good. It's Son Gohan and Piccolo. And basically, it's a 15k for 3. Important part is it has barrier. So this is just Deadly Defender. They actually have to attack into it. They can't use skills to remove it because it has barrier. Also, when it swings, your opponent has to drop a card from their hand. So if you're swinging at their leader, they're not netting much advantage because they have to drop a card before they take a card. Or you can just swing at battle cards, just negging cards from their hand. So it's really good. And then it sets up as your Deadly Defender. 15k Son Goku. Oh, not this one yet. Spirit of the Planet. It's a blue-green card, which is good for energy fixing. It's also your other revived target, just like I didn't go over. This is a revived target as well, which is pretty important as a deadly defender. And this card's just good. It's not as good, but when your opponent's down to 3 life left, then this card can become very threatening, and they'll want to deal with it and remove it from the battlefield. And basically because you can pay 2 to give it 10,000 power and triple strike, so it can close the game. It's also 15k Goku, which is relevant for Fusion. This is our other 15k target, so it brings our Gokus up to 4 15k Fusion targets. This one's also Self-Awakener. And unlike Digging Deep, it doesn't have to actually swing to get its effect. It just has an auto when it comes to play. You choose up to 1 or 2 life. It gets 5k, so it's at that point it's 20k. And then when it goes to your opponent's turn, during their main phase, you get to restand 8 energy. So it allows energy to be restand for defense. Our 15k Vegetas that complement those 15k Gokus for Fusion is Vegeta the Cruel. It's one of the better counter plays in the game. The only thing that really hurts this card is cards with barrier, because then you can't do it, but it gets around deflect. So you can use this on cards with deflect. What it does is basically KOs a card, and they have to warp a card from their hand, and then this card comes into play. So basically 2 for 1's your opponent, and then you have a battle card in play to swing or combo with, or do whatever you need to do with it. Just really good card. And those are the 15k Fusion Vegeta targets. We're going to go into more of the Fusion targets for the later card, which is basically Gogeta. We got, it's also counterplay. It's Ultra Instinct Son Goku. You can counterplay or counter attack, and when you use it, you can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. Doesn't matter energy cost, no matter how big it is. It also gets to ignore barrier, and then it returns to your opponent's hand. You draw a card. So a lot of times this is just to stop your opponent's big bombs. Or just a good tempo play. It can be played either way. It's just a good card. It's very versatile. Going in, these are Vegetas, also a fusion target with the 20k Gokus. At all costs, we're playing this card for a certain reason, which I'll show you later beyond the fusion. Also, we're playing a lot of Universe 7 cards for another card, which would be next card to show up, just to give us more targets, Universe 7 and the making cards. At all costs, Vegeta, it's 4. When you play it, you get a restand energy and draw a card, so it allows you to restand energy, basically to be defensive on your turn. It also has a activate main once per turn. You choose 2 cards in your life, so it's all Self-Awakener. And then if you have 5 or more energy, he gets a... no. You usually choose 2 cards in your life, then this card gains 3,000 power for the duration of turn for each energy you have. And then if you have 5 or more, you get to choose a card and KO it and triple strike it. So it's 2 different abilities, actually. But in this card's just really good blue card. It's been a blue staple pretty much since it came out. Next card is Piccolo the Cunning Strategist. With our Namekian count and our actually Universe 7 count, this card has a lot of targets. So basically you play this, you get to play another card from your hand for free as long as it's a Namekian or a Universe 7, which you have plenty of targets. It does have to negate its skills for the duration of your turn, and you do have to burst 3. Burst 3 is relevant because you're trying to get Sparking 10. And the free card you play off it is also pretty good because we have another card that's busted that has Bond 2, which would be the next card I show you. Now you do have to negate the skills. The card that this plays, you have to negate skills for that turn. So all the time turns are you using this to play a card, and then on your next turn, you're going to follow up with this because it gives you Bond. Yep, I got 2 proxies, these sweet Chilled Army tokens. Our team does have access to this card. We have 7 altogether, but right now they're being used in other decks. So right now I'm just going to show you the proxies, and I have 1 just to show you. But this card's Barrier. It costs 4. And you don't have to be afraid to tap out to play it because if you have Zeno button, you don't have to be scared. You can play it, tap out, and then restand your energy to be defensive. Its main thing is Auto Bond 2, so you need Bond 2. It's not Auto, sorry. It's Activate Battle. But basically, you activate Battle, you get a KO card with energy cost 5 or less, and draw a card. So on the turn you play it, you can go into battle, KO card, draw a card. Then it goes to their turn. If they go to battle, you can KO card and draw a card, and then back to your turn, and so on and so forth. If you drop 2 of these, it's really hard for your opponent to fight through it. And it has barrier, so it just basically sticks. So it's a really good card. Super combo, we're in green. Oh, there's that Gogeta. Great green super combo. It's when your life is at 4 or less, you get the draw effect. No matter what, you can use it for the 10k combo. But when you're at 4 or less and you get to draw 2 cards and then send a card from your hand to your warp, this just allows you to see more cards to see the threats you need to see to close out games. Getting to those, with all those fusion targets, we have Gogeta Hero Revived. Just still a great game ender. Has all the keywords you want to see: triple strike, barrier, and deflect. So he's very hard to deal with, and then hard to remove. Big thing is Sparking 10. When you have that Sparking 10, you get your opponent shuffles their entire hand to the deck and draws 3 random cards. So a lot of times on the turn before you're wanting to play this, or the turn you're wanting to play this, you're wanting to swing and have your opponent take life straight to their hand, think of their netted card advantage, then just getting rid of all that card advantage with this. And also when you play it, you have to crit a life. So other big bomb on turn 5, which you're wanting to see, the Gogeta or this on turn 5, is the SER. Card's really good. It's good offensively and defensively. Defensively, basically, it places any of your opponent's cards, ignoring barriers, so it doesn't matter. Puts them in the drop, and you get a ramp 2 energy. And then the other effect is when you use offense, you use double strike, critical, and triple attack. So if they don't have like a time magic or a Mafubin to negate this attack, it's really good. And even if they have a normal negate, they better have 2 or 3. So, because basically it's going to hit for 2 critical, and then it gets to swing 3 times. So, really good card. Now for the team event, I showed both of these because in singles I would run 2 of these. For the team event, we're going to run 2 of these instead because we had to make sacrifices probably, and this is going to be going to someone else's deck. So, but this card right here is really good. It's Overwhelm 10, and it's a double strike. It's a 30k, so it's a big body. And then when you play it, you negate. Your opponent can't activate skills on cards other than their leader card till the beginning of your next turn. So their leader can still do things, but any skills that their battle cards have or they can't negate, that's a skill. If they have pseudo super combo, sure, they can pay the 1 to get the 10k, but they won't draw the card off it. Same with super combo. It just breaks down a lot of deck strategies playing this card. This card just changes the rules of the game as far as saying all your opponent's cards have no skills except for their leader. And another little good thing is the turn you played, it does it. Let's say you don't kill them that turn, it goes to your opponent's turn. On their turn as well, this is still in effect. And basically, until the beginning, hold on, your opponent, yeah, until the beginning of your next turn. So basically, this effect goes off on your next turn. So you play it, all those skills are negated. If you don't kill them on their turn, all their skills are still negated. And when it goes back to your turn, then this effect's off. So it lasts for a while. Other card that's still in there because I play it in singles, or you could play 2 of these in your deck in teams. If no one else is needing it, or if no one's needing both of them, you can do a 1-1 split, whatever way you want to do it. Through the Dark Banisher, 25k, Overwhelm 8, it has triple attack, and basically your opponent can't activate skills unless they choose 1 card from the incentive warp. So it attacks. If they want to activate a skill to stop and negate, they have to discard a card to negate. If they want to super combo, they have to discard a card to super combo. If they want to KO it, they have to. So it's just like anytime they want to activate a skill, they're going to have to neg a card. That's why it's just really good. So that's it. Just want to show you this little deck that we're thinking about going over in teams. Substitutions you could be made. You could play a lot of the same engine with the Broly leader as well. You just have to take out the preemptive strikes and tweak it a little bit. I've seen some Broly variations that are kind of similar. There's blue-green good Broly, not so much on the revive mechanic. But I want to show you the revive Goku just because I think this leader is a lot of fun to play. And honestly, I do think it's really good and underrepresented right now. And that's all I got for you. Once again, thanks.